way from London town, we've got Asa Butterfield. He's Ender in Ender's Game. Good morning, Asa. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. Is it the middle of the afternoon over there in London?
It is 1:30.
That's
nice.
I've
just had lunch.
That is, usually, people get up for these media tours and it's early and they're all groggy and yeah, it's nice having you in London because you like you said, you just had lunch. You're ready to roll. Let's talk a little bit about the movie Ender's Game. First of all, for people that have never read the book or anything, people that are just blind to the story, tell them a little bit about what Ender's Game is all about and who Ender is.
Well, Ender is one of the very, very bright and intelligent children on Earth who are taken up to battle school, where he is trained with his peers to become the next strategist and the next commanders and the next leaders, and they train them in various different ways, playing war games and being drilled by military sergeants. And he makes some friends, and he makes lots and lots of enemies when he is in the battle school. And I don't want to give away too much, but it gets very intense and quite deep, really. I think the characters in the storyline are great.
Yeah, it's obviously a fantastic story. Because, everybody has either probably read the book or at least, is familiar with the title, Ender's Game. That's got to be a huge thing. When you go audition for a film, a lot of times, you read the project, you read the material, it's going to be a good project and you sign on to it and don't know what it's going to turn out to be. But this has to be some added pressure, knowing that everybody, has heard of Ender's Game and you're playing the role of Ender himself. This movie could go down in history. When everybody, reads the book, they can say, oh, go watch the movie too. And this could be a film that just lives on forever and you are the title character. Is there a lot of pressure? Did you feel differently than other films you auditioned for, or did you just take it as another role?
No, you're right. I think whenever you have a project which already has a massive fan base, it is a bit daunting to bring it to life because there are so many people who have such high expectations for it. And in my case, bringing Ender, who is the title character of the film, and trying to not only please the people who are already fans of the story, but to introduce millions of new people to the project is always it was a bit nerve-wracking. But for an actor, I think whenever you have a character which is both complex and interesting and will push you in your acting ability, but at the same time you can have loads of fun playing, it's the perfect combination.
Yeah, just a great, fun project, I'm sure. And working, you got to work directly with Harrison Ford, who obviously, this film, for one, it's filled with great actors. Harrison Ford, Ben Kingsley, Viola Davis, Abigail Breslin. A bunch of talented people. But Harrison Ford is, he's a living legend. What was it like to be able to, spend so much time with him on set?
It was a lot of fun, yeah. I think Harrison, I was intimidated by meeting him and working with him. I think as anyone would be. But what I found with Harrison is how he can make you feel so comfortable when you're on set, and he makes you feel so at ease, and he brings the best out of you, really. And what I found is even within a week of shooting, you sort of forget that he is Han Solo, and he's just another actor, really, and he's such a nice guy as well.
I'm always wondering, because you hear so many, anytime an actor gets, as big as Harrison Ford, you hear so many mixed stories. Certain people say he's such a jerk and, you can't even talk about him or he'll sue you and he's an angry old man. And then you hear from other people that work with him that he's, a nice guy, and you never know, obviously, since we don't get to talk to him or see him very much, we don't know what to believe. So it's nice to hear from somebody like you that spent so much time with him that he's truly a nice guy.
Yeah, he is, and on this press tour, being able to work with him as well has been an honor. And I also find that he's hilarious. He has such a great sense of humor, and he's very witty. His humor's very dry, but that's partially what I like about it.
That's great. That's great. Ender's Game is going to be obviously a huge, huge movie. Do you get caught up in the box office numbers? I mean, the early projections. Are you worried about how well it does financially, or for you, are you just the actor that goes in there, gives it your all, and sits back and hopes it does well at the box office, or do you stress a lot about the numbers and how well it's going to do?
I try not to think about any of that stuff. It's not really. There's no need for me to think about it, and of course, for any actor, they're gonna want their film to do well. But I try and not read too many reviews or things like that, because however great your film is, there is always going to be someone who you can't please everyone. And so for me, I just give my all and do my job, and then it's just down to the public, really. And I just hope they enjoy it as much as I do.
Excellent. Well, I think on this one, from everything I've seen and heard, I think we will all enjoy it as well. Ender's Game is the movie, and you are Ender. But what's coming up after Ender's Game? Asa, anything exciting on the frontier for you? Any new projects you're working on coming out soon?
I've got a few projects in the pipeline, which will hopefully kick off at the start of next year. But at the moment, I'm taking my A-levels, which are huge exams in the UK, so that's my focus, really, and school is my priority at the moment.
That's great. I mean, obviously, a lot of actors kind of abandon school, and move on to the film business and focus solely on that. But we've seen, a lot of times the actors that split their time between film and school, end up turning out to be some of the greatest actors. So I think that's commendable that you're focused on school and didn't just say, screw it, I'm just going to Hollywood and I'm going to become an actor. It's nice that you have that balance in your life. So I think you've got big things to come. I can't wait to talk to you about some of these other projects as well. But I encourage everybody to go out and check out Ender's Game. The cast is fantastic. The story is obviously great. And Asa has been great to talk to. So, support this man and his film, Asa Butterfield, all the way from London this morning. Thank you so much for taking the time, and enjoy the rest of your day.
I will. Thanks for having me.
Right,
Take care.
Thanks, Asa. You too. Bye-bye.
The Big J Show. Weekday mornings from 6 till 10 on Billings' #1 hit music station, Hot 101.9.